To adjust the color of end hair, you'll need to do that through the follicles, either by adjusting the colors of individual follicles, as we'll see in the next movie, or more conveniently, with the Paint Hair Follicles tool. Now within the hair system shape, you can actually add a texture or map to the hair color, but I don't recommend you do that because you can't really control the placement of colors. Let's take a look at that just briefly so you'll see what the issue is. I'll select the hair strokes and go to the attribute editor, Control A. And in the hair system shape node, go to the shading section and you'll see hair color. And there is a create rendered node button there, meaning that we could drop in a texture map. So let's try it. I'll click on the create render node button and just add a ramp texture just to illustrate the issue. Click on ramp. And now what you see is the ramp has been applied and it's according to the UV space of the model. However, we're not seeing a consistent distribution of colors. In other words, what we should expect to see is all of the hairs be red here, transitioning to all green here, and finally ending up at all blue down here. And if we apply this map to the surface of this polygon emitter object, then that's what we would see. But for some reason in Maya, the texturing doesn't really work properly for the hair system. So I don't recommend that you use it because, again, you cannot control the placement of colors. So what we're going to do is we're just going to break that connection and we will use the Paint Hair Follicles tool instead. So I'll select the hair once again, go back to the hair system shape node, right-click on hair color and choose break connection. And now the hair color has been sent to black, so we'll want to click on that color slot and give it some color, remembering that it needs to be darker than you want it to be in the final rendering, because this diffuse color is going to be added to the translucence and specular colors. So I want to have a light brown hair, which means I need a dark brown diffuse color here. So click on that. Now you see I've got some brown hair, and let's paint the color using the Paint Hair Follicles tool. I'll close the attribute editor, select the strokes, go into the End Dynamics menu set and choose End Hair, Paint Hair Follicles options. In the paint mode here, instead of create follicles, we want to choose edit follicle attributes. And under follicle attribute, we want to edit the color blend. Click on that. And now the color that we paint with will be shown here. If I leave it at white, then we will paint white hairs. Go over to the tool settings and reset the tool. We want to have the value here at a value of 1 if we want to paint white hairs. If it had a fractional value, like let's say 0.5, then we would mix this white color with whatever the existing underlying diffuse color is. Also, just to make it a little bit easier to see, we can go into the display options for the tool settings and turn off show wireframe so that won't distract us. And it's a simple matter, we just click and drag to paint. Now you notice that the default brush has got feathered edges here. So if we want to have a hard edge, then we'll want to go back up here and choose a solid brush. And then when I paint, all those hairs will be exactly white. Looks like I got a little bit on the back here, so I can undo that with the Z key. Just make sure I'm only painting on this sideburn there. So it's very simple. We don't need to spend much time on this because you get how this is supposed to work. If we want different colors, we just simply choose a color here and then paint on the hairs. And that's all there is to that. Quite simple.